All
Hey
right.
Jeff,
Yes,
did
sir. We're
you
live.
did you want to share the link like on one of the like wine blogger fan pages?
Oh,
See if
yeah,
they want to
yeah.
watch the Jeff's live.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter actually.
So, Solomon, I like how you're all nice and clean shaven and went to Wine Bloggers Conference, but now that you're actually back to work teaching students, you haven't shaved in 3 days.
You just figured that out. That's my thing. No, man. Uh I don't know. I was trying to yeah. I don't know. I figured I might shake the hands of some heavy hitters and I didn't want to offend them with like, I'm pretty edgy as is. So
Well, should we tell about the show? Stacy Louise Briscoe.
let's see here. Napa Food and Vine. Lori Budd.
Yeah, we got her. Nancy C.
We're
gonna
Craig
forget.
Camp.
You gonna do Craig?
So, Solomon,
Maybe Stub would be. What's up?
Did you like move the clock back at Russian River so they closed half an hour later?
That would have been nice. But the problem was we had to get back to it does take a while to get in there. And once you get seated, you do gonna want to stay for a while. But we had to get back to the conference.
Yeah, we missed a really good tasting. Let's see. We should probably do Massey V. Even though he's in France.
False. I'll say.
Anybody else?
You just tagging everybody? You got enough room, huh? Thea.
What is her handle?
Is it at Luscious Lushes?
Lushes, yeah.
Is Luscious spelled the same way as Lucius? Or anything?
I think so. It's nice that we're live right now. Do we have any viewers? Wonder if anybody's like watching us just read off names. Fuck that guy.
All right, got the Pink Society folks, Stacy, Lori, Amber, Nancy, Craig, Jeff, Thea, Dave Rosari, Kimberly.
Oh, I was gonna say Stub, because he might want to just see how our thing goes down.
Do you know what his handle is?
I mean, at Cork Envy.
Stub. right, that tweet is out. All right. Do this. I guess I'll put this up here. Ooh, somebody's cracking something. Some Coors banquet beer. Is that what I heard?
Could be. Oh shit.
That looks like an Elephant Rock IPA to me.
It looks like I got some sticky pants now. That doesn't sound right. Recording, are you?
Yeah, recording. All right. All right, so I kind of put some initial show notes stuff in there. That look good to you guys?
Yeah. Is the Wine Bloggers Conference recap just in place of booze news?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys set?
Give me 1 second. Yeah, man. You use that gadget already?
No, I haven't used it yet. Have you?
No. I gotta find it first. All right.
All right, and we're
Google
recording.
Gadget Arms. Google Gadget.
Here we go.
Hey, this is Bianca Bosker. I'm the author of the new book, Cork Dork, and you're listening to the We Like Drinking podcast, where you never drink alone.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
All right, let's try that again. Yeah, got to do it again. Yeah, got to do it again. All right, here we go. Damn it. No, that's messed up. All right, here we go.
Hey, this is Bianca Bosker. I'm the author of the new book, Cork Dork, and you're listening to the We Like Drinking podcast, where you never drink alone.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
Thank you for joining us for the We Like Drinking Show, episode 149. In this episode, we'll be discussing snakes, gadgets, and the Wine Bloggers Conference recap. So crack open your beer, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking! Whew, man. Tired. It's a rough Wine Bloggers Conference. How you guys doing tonight? Excellent. Looks like it's just me.
I'm okay.
So cheers, my podcast.
Fuck, my internet's all fucked up. Fuck. Fucking fuck.
I can hear you fine,
can't
Jeff.
hear me.
I can hear
okay.
every single thing you're saying.
All right. It was choppy over here. Was I a robot-like?
No, you were crystal clear, just dropping F-bombs like nobody's business.
Another explicit tag. I'm sorry.
Hey, what do you say we try a third time? So what happened?
It's a charm.
Yeah. All right.
Hello.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
So,
What, John?
I hear you fine.
You
Can
hear
anybody
me
hear me?
fine?
You
I
hear
hear
me?
Can you
I hear you
me?
now, John.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Can you
John
hear,
is really sketchy.
Can you
Can
hear
you guys hear
Jeff?
Solomon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but it's been like choppy, robot-y, like since we started.
Okay, let's. I think my family's on the tubes.
Hey, John, like, were you like, was Jeff looking all like a robot to you, or was that just me?
You. It didn't look.
I think it's just me. Like, I think there's something like my internet's being all fucked up right now.
All right, can you guys hear me any better now?
Yeah, you sound fine. Like, I don't know if we want to start over again because I'm sorry, I killed our mojo and
No, you're
shit,
good.
Jeff. I know you're working tonight, but things sound fine right now. But
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
all right.
Hey, this is Bianca Bosker. I'm the author of the new book, Cork Dork, and you're listening to the We Like Drinking podcast, where you never drink alone.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
Fuck, are you kidding me? All right. What is this? Take 4? We should take this shit on the road. This is so on fleek.
We've got 30 viewers right now.
Yeah, that's right. All right, here we go.
Hey, this is Bianca Bosker. I'm the author of the new book, Cork Dork, and you're listening to the We Like Drinking podcast, where you never drink alone.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
Thank you for joining us for the We Like Drinking Show, episode 149. In this episode, we'll be discussing snakes, gadgets, and the Wine Blogger Conference recap. So crack open your beer, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking. All right, let me loosen up the muscles here. I'm gonna need him.
Man,
I think.
I got to tell you, I just randomly started laughing hysterically during the intros. It was because all of a sudden, have you ever had this? You're sitting there, everything's fine, and then you just start thinking about David Pumpkins.
What?
You don't know about David Pumpkins?
No.
David S. Pumpkins? Oh, it makes it that much better. You know what? Like, at least 5 of our 6 fans started laughing hysterically too.
Nice.
David Pumpkins.
Well then,
I'm David Pumpkins.
all right. Well, cheers to all our listeners and viewer out there. Hey, viewer, let us talk to Jeff in the chat. Thank you for joining us for episode 149. Big episode tonight. We got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to do it. So let's get right into it and find out who we're drinking with tonight. We've got our usual cast of characters. We've got our wine blogger, Jeff Solomon. We've got our beer brewer, John Ruyak. And I'm your host and beer mile champion, Jeff Eccles. And this, again, is episode 149 of the We Like Drinking podcast. Guys, welcome to the show. I took my glasses off. They're all freestyle. How you guys all doing?
You're never gonna let me live down that whole beer mile, are you?
Never. Never.
We're just
we can't see.
we're just gonna have to get together again. I am gonna kick your ass. Yeah.
Whatever.
Just make sure the beer is cold. Make sure the beer is cold. We're good.
Okay, Ralph. What you drinking tonight there, buddy?
You call me Ralph. All right, so I came home from the Wine Bloggers Conference with a gigantic box full of samples. My buddy Brad Gray, who does PR for Scotto Cellars, got a hold of me and got me to taste. You know, they've got some really good wines coming out right now, but he got me to take home a bunch of different flavored hard ciders because Scotto Cellars is in the cider game now. So right now I'm drinking the dry hard apple cider with Pinot Grigio added to it.
That one was pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah, super crisp, lovely. And then in the what do you call it? In the chamber, on deck right now, because it is, as we're recording it, it's Zinfandel Day, right?
Correct.
So I also have, this is there, and Pacific Coast is the label that this is under. So look for this in your local grocery store. This is the Pacific Coast dry hard apple cider with blueberry zin. So I started with the Pinot Grigio because I think it's going to be a drier effort. It's going to be more of like an aperitif, and I think this zin is going to be a dessert cider for me. Both of these will not knock you on your ass at 6%, which, you know, after what, 4 days of pounding wine and cough medicine, I think I'm okay with that.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right there. The blueberry one is a little bit more fruity. So yeah, I think you're going with a good call there. And yeah, we're already getting from the Twitters, Jeff, pumpkins. What's up? Nancy Feast is wanting to know what you're even talking about. So I think you're
Nancy Feast, while you're listening to us, go look up the Saturday Night Live David S. Pumpkins sketch starring Tom Hanks as David S. Pumpkins. It'll change your life.
Wow, that's a bold statement there. Looks like we lost the John. So
he's going to watch some David S. Pumpkins right now.
He can't do both at the same time.
Like, it'll change my life. All right.
All right. Well, I'm kind of going old school here. I'm going with a Guinness.
Nice.
Straight up. In the Guinness glass even. So.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
You're staying on brand right now. I can appreciate that.
I am. And we have no idea what John is drinking. So we'll just move on.
I'm going to say he's probably drinking a Howler IPA right now.
I was thinking the Howler IPA or the Porter. One of
Love that coconuts porter.
He was brewing the porter today. So we'll go ahead and take those bets. And while we're in a gambling mood, we'll just move right into grape, hop, or pop culture reference. This is where I'm going to give maybe just Jeff Solomon a turn. He's going to tell me if it's a wine, grape, a beer, hop, or a pop culture reference. Jeff, the term this week is Triskel. So now, is Triskel a wine, grape, a beer, hop, or possibly a pop culture reference?
Triskel. Can you spell it, please?
I can. Triskel. Triskel.
Triskel. You know, at first I was just thinking, Val Caruso of the Wine 25 podcast. We spent a little time with her, and we had a lot of fun. She and I making fun of the way you pronounce Italian words, and
yes.
I'm glad that you spelled Triskel, because for a second I just thought that was how you pronounce tricycle, which would have been pretty awesome. But when I see Triskel, Triskel, here's what I'm thinking. We're going to talk a lot about the Wine Bloggers Conference tonight, and one recurring theme was, it seemed like at the end, basically at the end of any given day of drinking a whole lot of wine, all we wanted was beer. And we're gonna much like the live blogging sessions at the Wine Bloggers Conference, we're gonna cram a lot of wine down your throat during this episode. So I think to make up for it, Triskel must be a hop. It must be.
Okay. All right, John, did you make it back with us? I see his picture, but not his moving face. So we're just going to go with it and say that, Jeff Solomon, you are correct. Triskel is a beer hop, primarily an aroma hop. It was the second cultivar from the French varietal breeding program and developed just a little bit ago in 2006. So well done nailing Triskel. All right, now normally at this part of the show, we would move right into what is it, booze news, something. But we're going to skip that this week because Jeff and I did some stuff last week. If you remember last week, I had when we signed off from the last episode, I had just like demolished Jeff in the beer mile, just left him in the dust. And we moved on with the rest of the night. Then we got up Thursday morning. Some of us felt better than others, and packed it up to head on up to Santa Rosa.
But before we get into that, John, we got to get back to you wearing a sweet "We Like Drinking" T-shirt. I just noticed. Two things. Number one. Are you drinking your Howler IPA or are you drinking your Pura Vida Porter?
I am drinking neither. A guy stopped by earlier this week. He's doing some beer tours from Virginia, bringing like three groups of people down in March and April, and he brought some beers by to Virginia to grease the skids to have us be part of the beer tour. And I think they want to end the day at Coconuts and Angry Goats Brewery, at least on one of their excursions. But he dropped by 4 beers, one of them which was consumed by somebody at Coconuts before I got it because I left them there and I guess they were somewhat unattended. And another one that I refused to drink, which was called the Strawberry Milkshake beer, some sort of beer with strawberries and lactose added. But I picked up what I brought for the podcast is this Three Notch Brewing Company Minuteman, which is a session IPA with a lot of orange taste in it. To go with kind of a Thanksgiving theme, because what is the other fruit that goes excellent? Lots of times there's muffin. What's another fruit that goes excellent with oranges? Sometimes you even see it in muffins. So I got this cranberry gosha. So I'm drinking this orange one first because I think the cranberry is going to just blow my taste buds out. So we'll do that next. And if a listener asks, maybe I'll even mix the two and see what they taste like.
Why don't you mix the two with some gelatin and call it dessert?
Did you hear the great pop culture reference there?
No, I didn't. No, do I get the
Triskel? Quickly.
What was it?
Triskel.
Crystal?
Triskel.
Yeah, you kind of chopped up on me. So
I'll jump in real quick because Eccles is just a little bit choppy right now, so he's gonna fix that. Triskel is spelled Trisl.
Oh, I'm going to say that's a great.
From where?
You know what? I think it's Eastern European or Austrian.
Interesting. In actuality, it is a hop.
Oh no!
From France.
From France, no less. All right, so now we're moving to the Wine Bloggers Conference. We woke up Thursday. Jeff, and what happened? What did we do?
Hey, Jeff, you're super crunchy right now. I'm so sorry, man. It's feeding back on us. Like it's all Ruyak's fault now. It's when the third person comes in, it gets crunchy.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. Soaking up bandwidth.
Try it again.
Any better now?
Not really.
No.
Still feeding back.
Could it be my connection's just that bad? It's screwing up timing and stuff.
No.
All right, better now?
Yes.
That's better.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. You sound great. You
Yes.
sound excited about what's happening with the recording right now.
Nothing.
We hear you.
No, you sound great, dude. But we can't hear the sound effects now.
Anybody still there?
Yeah, we're all here.
We're both still here.
Okay. All right. Do I sound all right now?
Yeah, you sound great, Jeff.
All right. So I'm just going to stop Audacity because it won't pick up my voice anymore. All right. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. So I think we just did the Triskel thing, but maybe we already got John's reaction from it, right? So I think we're ready to just dive right into the Wine Bloggers Conference thing.
Yep.
Go for it.
Oh, man.
3, 2, 1, shoot.
Don't put any pressure on me. So, hey, yeah, Thursday morning when I woke up, I felt like a champion, by the way, Jeff, because although I didn't win the race, not a champion in that way, I felt like a champion because, you know, I didn't really drink 4 beers like you did. I drank
Right. Yep.
I drank 1. And then some beautiful Chateau Courrier Sangiovese. It was awesome. Remember that? Can you believe that was a week ago? It seems like
That seems like much longer ago.
yeah. So, morning, I gave Jeff a little tour of downtown Gilroy. We went down to OD's, got some breakfast there. Jeff got the kitchen sink, doused it in hot sauce. He's a fun person to watch eat, that Jeff Eccles. I'm just making that up. And so we hung out, ate a little breakfast. You know, we're like, we got plenty of time to get down to the Wine Bloggers Conference. Except the pants I was gonna wear, like the zipper caught on the rest of the pants in the dryer and just like made all these weird marks. So we stopped at Express, did a fashion show for a while. Then we finally got up to Santa Rosa and had a pretty awesome time from the get-go. We got into town. What did we do first, Jeff? Did we just go straight to the
Let's see,
to the Rodney Strong blending?
No, we went and checked
or did we
in.
Go out to lunch?
We went and checked in, and then we went straight to the conference and got checked in and went straight to the Rodney Strong blending class,
which was pretty sweet. So it was run by God, here I am blanking. I should have put this in front of me. Rachel Thralls was leading like the education portion of this seminar, and then the one of the winemakers at Rodney Strong, he was kind of leading us through this blending.
That was Greg.
Greg, and that was a pretty sweet little setup. You know, as a biology teacher, you give me a pipette and a graduated cylinder and ask me to like calculate percentages. Like, sure, I could do that. Like, it was kind of fun. We ended up doing a blend that, you know, Rodney Strong does this really great Meritage blend called Symmetry. They've been doing it for a while, and that's one of the first. I think that's probably the first wine that was over $40 that I ever bought in my life. And so I've been a fan of that for a while. It was fun to kind of taste those components. We ended up blending a wine of mainly Merlot with some Cabernet Sauvignon, some Cabernet Franc, and some Petit Verdot. It was interesting though. We started off, Jeff.
Yeah, we started out going heavy on everybody wanted to go heavy on the Cab Franc except for one person. But it was cool, John, because we had 4 teams of 4, and they gave us just a bunch of wine, and then we had to come up with the blend, and we had to come up with a team name and submit the wine to Rachel and Greg and Christopher O'Gorman, one of the other guys at Rodney Strong, and they did their own tasting panel and then came up with a victor.
Yeah.
Now,
that's pretty neat.
I was feeling pretty confident coming off my win from the night before, but you know, I had Solomon on my team, so I guess I was just destined to come in second place.
Come on. Yeah, we did come in second, but here's the thing. It was a panel of judges that got together and rated our wines. We came in second place, but the winemaker was fascinated by our blend. Fascinated.
Yes.
He goes, there's a lot of like really high-toned cherries on this. I don't know if this was your intention or not, but this is a beautiful, beautiful wine. This is a wine that Psalms would love. So if you're a Psalm out there, understand you will never get a chance to taste this beautiful wine that we made. Second's the best, by the way. Just ask any little kid. Second's the best.
Is that the theme of the week for the Wine Bloggers Conference?
Apparently.
You came in second out of 14, so you're top 50%. Way to go.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg went out of his way to come talk to us about how awesome our blend was.
And that was great. So within the first hour of showing up at the conference, and that was like a pre-conference optional type of thing, my teeth were so purple after that, man. Like, we went back to the hotel just so I could brush my teeth.
And this is how it was all weekend. So we're rolling into town, and I had tried to set up a lunch with, if anybody that was going to be at the conference had been on our show, I tried to set up a lunch beforehand. You know, a lot of people weren't going to be in town yet. A lot of people just had other things going on. But, you know, Val was set and ready. And so we're texting back and forth. Couldn't make it happen. She was at a tasting that was running long. We were running late. So we're like, Val, she's like, I'm in the hotel. I'm just come down to the Russian River, Alexander, whatever room we were in, and see us. So Val comes running in. We, you know, bust through the tape, victorious, and she like knew half the room already. But so Jeff got to meet Val right there before the conference got started. So that was cool. Then we got into the tasting, the blending. We got done with that, and I think we did we went back to the hotel so we could Uber it back. Or no.
We may have. Did we walk back that night?
We did walk back that night.
Oh man, that was a dumb idea.
That
Rain just started rolling into Northern California, and I'm like, it's like a mile away, Jeff. Like, not a big deal. I look up at the clouds. I'm like, it's not gonna rain for at least 2 or 3 hours, and we're walking back, and like, Santa Rosa is such a lovely town. Like, I had so much fun, like, especially getting to know like that downtown area. But there are parts along Santa Rosa Avenue that aren't necessarily the most pedestrian friendly, and it starts raining, and we're like walking through mud puddles and stuff to get to the conference. But we made it. We made it.
So we made it, and that night was the kind of the opening salvo of the night, kind of a meet and greet just kind of thing. A lot of vendors in there, but we got in there right away. We found Stacy Briscoe from Briscoe Bites. We found Lori from Dracena Wines, and we became like best friends really quick, especially with those two. So we got to taste some cool wines in there. And so check this out, John. So, there's a couple vendors there. So these guys, see, okay, I got this. I'm holding up a blue plastic, black looking cork. And it's got this metal or a little, foil topper on it. So this is, Jeff, can you explain this a little bit to John?
Yeah, you got to give me the name of that topper before I jump.
Re-pour.
It's called Re-pour, and so what it is, it's a single-use wine stopper. When you peel that label back, it's kind of like the label you would get on like a printer cartridge. Like when you peel that foil back, it exposes the wine to a proprietary blend of herbs and spices, where essentially like you open a wine and then you put that topper on there, and what it's going to do is it's basically an oxygen absorber. Basically like it's a rust collector, if you think about it, John. Like it basically absorbs this oxygen and stores it up inside of this cork. And they were saying you could keep this wine fresh for how long after you opened it, Jeff?
Oh, like weeks.
It was nuts. And they were opening up all these super expensive bottles and putting that cork in there and having people sign it and saying like, and at the end of this conference, come and taste this wine and you're going to see there's not a difference. And so it was a pretty neat little product. I'm looking forward to try.
Just hitting the market now. This was kind of their launch. They had different purchase options, but like one was like, I think $250 maybe is what they're running. But you could get them down to, if you got like a restaurant or something like that, I think they could get 70 for $70 or something like that, something along those lines. So I'm interested to give this one a try. They said it could last basically a whole bottle. Doesn't matter how long it takes you to drink the bottle or how much of the bottle you drink. But it'll basically last you one bottle. So, $250, a lot less expensive than a lot of other options that are out there. So I'm really interested to check this one out here over the next few weeks. What else was in there? Pinot Gris.
Yeah, we did have a pink Pinot Grigio, and then we had a white Pinot Noir from the same producer. I think that was from Duck Pond that was in there.
That's right.
I think the expo is really just a nice way to get people to just like gather up and hang out. Yep. It was pretty sweet to see our friend Jason Stubblefield on the way in, Stubb from Cork Envy, who has tons of irons in the fire. He does a podcast of his own, one bourbon, one shard, and one beer, which is a pretty sweet little thing. If you like music and you like drinking, so basically if you're me, that might be a podcast for you.
And you like baseball.
And if you like baseball, yeah. And that was kind of neat, but I think really Friday night You know, it seemed
Thursday
like
night.
Thursday night. It seemed like
So
every
we're at the.
yeah.
Go ahead.
It
So
seemed
we're at
like
the
every
expo.
and then you know, it seemed like every single day, John, Jeff and I had this game plan. And then what would happen was
like quarter after 8.
Yeah,
well,
basically.
what would happen was we'd have this game plan, and then we'd run into the drunken cyclist Jeff Kralik, and he would change our game plan.
And that happened Thursday night. Ran into, as we started calling him the mayor, Jeff Kralik. He's like, "What do you guys doing?" And we're like, "I don't know. We're thinking about doing these." No, you're not doing that. You're coming with me. You're coming with me, kid. And so off we went. Thursday night we went down to Jackson's, a little watering hole there in Santa Rosa, and that was being sponsored by Rodney Strong as well, wasn't it?
Well, so Rodney Strong was there. Ramey was there. The Larson Project was there.
That's right. Yep.
It was some really nice wines, and it was a really neat opportunity to get to meet Robert Larson. Was the man behind the Larson Project, and to be able to drink his wines was great. Earlier we were talking about how Christopher O'Gorman from Rodney Strong was at the blending. He was at the, what was it called, the Jackson Street Pub, whatever it was called. So he was there. He had some other people pouring, but Christopher was there making the rounds. And then his wife Alexandra O'Gorman is a rep for Ramey, so there was a bunch of bottles of Ramey that were out there as well. And it was
some nice 07 Shards and Syrah.
Yeah, and just those big magnums of single vineyard Cabernets from Rodney Strong were really on point. That was really fun.
That was fun. Kind of it was a 2013 vertical in elevation as we went up different AVAs, and then so then Jim's running around there from JVB Uncorked. And Laura had come in and she brought in her Dracaena Cab Franc. And so we got to taste a little bit of that, which was really good. And I didn't get any before I left, so now I have to go order more. But so I'm walking by Jim and he's like, "Hey man, do you want to try some 1962 Banyuls?" I was like, "You're goddamn right. I want to try some 1962 Banyuls." So he had a bottle there. Go ahead.
The great thing is, I was eating some various meats and cheeses when this was happening. All of a sudden I look over, Jeff's in this back corner. There's security guards on the way. And he's back there getting a taste of this Banyul. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? And I had to sneak in there, be all sly and everything, and be like, "What's up, bro? Nice to meet you for the first time ever. Can I have some of your delicious wine?"
So when they say a taste, what was it? Was it like an ounce and a half?
It was super strong.
Yeah.
So that Banyul is it's a dessert wine, and so it was very on some level. John, it kind of reminded me of those ports that we were trying that were more on the savory side, like a main course type of port. And obviously this was way better than that, but that same style where it's this is it's a sweeter dessert wine that you could totally have with a main course, you could have with a beautiful steak. It was that wine may have been top 3 of the weekend, top 2 of the weekend. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was legit, and it was pretty cool because it was produced in '62, but it had been in cask since And it was only bottled like in, I want to say 2013 or 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if they're just like stumbled across this cask. They're like, oh shit, let's bottle this and sell it. But
who forgot about these?
so that was quite the treat. And then the mayor was sitting there and he's like, hey, you want some champagne? You want some single vineyard champagne? You want some 84 Napa Beringer? I'm like, yes, I want some 84 Napa Beringer, Jeff Kralik. He's like, all right, well, you got to come to my place. So then we trucked on over to the mayor's house, and Jeff had all this crazy stuff open. A lot of it was gone. Most of it was missing the top of it because it had been sabered some direction from the house. But that was fun. We got to meet a ton of cool people there. We got to meet, who all was there? Josh was there. Leanne was there. Christine was there. Michelle was there from Stoller Family Estates. A lot more people there.
It just seemed like one person after the other started coming in. Conversations start to blur after a while, John. and this was the first day, mind you.
Yes,
first day.
So then, so that kind of wrapped up that night, I'd say. We're going, and then so then we get ready for Friday.
Mile on Friday.
What's that? Did we do a beer mile on Friday?
More than one person asked us if we wanted to do a wine mile next.
So hey man, we started out. So there's a little theme for this. There's a lot of themes, John, but one theme for the weekend was, every day I'd break out my phone and I'd whip out this handy dandy little app called Yelp, and what I would do is I would look for like where all the hipsters would go and eat food, and Eccles and I went to breakfast at this place called the Naked Pig out on Santa Rosa Avenue. And
did they have the best steak on the planet?
Dude, we're driving up to this place, and I remember we walked by it earlier, and I remember like we're both kind of like, that place doesn't look any good. But then like we checked like the reviews later, and people love it. We roll up to this thing. It looks like a shack. Well, it is a shack. But then we start to walk up, and Jeff and I are like, is this place even open? Like, I see one tiny little light on. We walk in, and dude, it was like the most amazing farm to table breakfast spot I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like, it looked like these tables, John, if you'd have told me you built these tables like on a Sunday just for fun, I'd believe you. It so we ended up having just a beautiful breakfast there. I had a artisanal biscuit and bone broth gravy with roasted corn and shishio peppers. It was and a wonderfully cooked egg. Greatest thing ever. I don't take pictures of my food. Okay, I do, but this is the best picture of food I've ever taken in my entire life at the Naked Pig in Santa Rosa. It was awesome. Yeah, and then we got to the conference. What happened, Jeff?
Yeah, so
one thing I'll just say one thing, just to interject. Finding a nice restaurant is cool, but finding a great place for breakfast, you'll go back to that every single time you're in town.
Oh yeah.
You just like, oh, this is the best place for miles for breakfast, and every time you're near there, we're going there for breakfast. You go out of your way for a good breakfast place.
Absolutely. So once we got our breakfast, we got into the stuff for Friday. They did a couple hours on wine writing, which was really cool. We got to see Andrea Robinson there speaking about vocabulary, some other good ethics in writing. Jeff was tweeting out what he was learning as it was happening. Then then we had a break, and we had another really cool, kind of nerdy, talk about how bloggers can interact with wineries. And then they served us a lunch, and all the doors open, and all these winemakers just come rolling in. They're from El Dorado Wines.
Yeah.
And so they're all pouring wines from El Dorado and talking about it, pairing with the food. Met some really cool people, some really cool innovation, like in packaging and whatnot. And good wines were had there. Jeff, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, the wineries of
Solomon, real quick, how
Yes,
many
sir.
words are you no longer able to use in your wine blog?
Oh, come on. I use them all. Andrea
Well, I
Robinson
thought
didn't
the
sway me
vocabulary
from
lesson.
she didn't sway me from finding the most simple word and using it over and over and over again. That's it's on brand is what I'm trying to say. But no, the wineries of El Dorado, for those that don't know, like if you're driving along the 50 from Sacramento to South Lake Tahoe, all those wineries in that region, they make some beautiful fruit, and it's just like it's the Wild West out there. You don't know if you're going to be getting some Italian varieties, if you're going to be getting some Rhone, some Bordeaux. Like it's all good up there. But yeah, I was really impressed with Bumgardner wines. I believe they're the ones that had like that awesome sustainable packaging. I'm pretty sure that was Bumgardner wines where, you have this, it's basically a bottle that's like a growler. And you take it home, you drink it, and then you drop it back off, and you get like a $5 credit towards your next wine.
Yep.
That was a pretty sweet setup, and those wines were delicious. The food was pretty good too. But I gotta tell you something. This conference wears you out. It wears me out just talking about it. Right afterwards, we just went home and took a nap for a little bit, right, Jeff?
Yeah. Yep. There was another session that we could have gone to, another tasting session. We could have chosen which one to go to, and we said, "Man, we got another long night ahead of us." So we just kind of took a break.
Do you think it was because of your beer mile the night before? Or you guys just really didn't work out or prep enough from a physical.
Like, I'll be honest.
Stretching your liver.
I'll be honest. The beer mile wrecked me for the whole weekend. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I didn't get right from that until like Tuesday.
I have to say that. So there was maybe that. I was battling I don't know if you can tell, like my throat's a little scratchy. Like I was battling a cold the whole time. But like the other thing is, it's a lot of work, man. Like it's exhausting. Like you're on the go the entire time. And when you're not in a session, you're networking. Or little sidebar here, Jeff Eccles networks like a mofo. Like he is on it, and he has no reservations. He's like, "Hey, what's up? My name's Jeff Eccles, and we do this We Like Drinking podcast, and let me give you my spiel." And it was so killer to see this guy work, because those of you that have been with me, like not on this show, like I'm a pretty quiet dude. I'll just sit back and just watch things happen, and I'm listening and I'm observing, and I'll jump in when if Martin Redmond asks me about the 49ers, I'll start screaming across the dinner table. But Eccles just goes for it. And I got to tell you, like, I'm certain that might be a reason why he was kind of wiped out too. Because like Eccles was never not on, and he made real heart to heart, dude. You made this experience like really awesome for me, dude. You were killing it the entire time.
Thanks, man. It was tiring. I was really glad.
By the way, this Blueberry Zin dry hard apple cider from Pacific Coast is it's really good. It's definitely desserty. You would not want to have this first because it is just a little bit on the sweeter side, or the perception of sweetness.
I'm going to talk a little sacrilege here. This cranberry ghost is from Devil's Backbone, and I think AB bought Devil's Backbone about a year and a half ago. But I got to tell you, this cranberry ghost is it's smoking.
It's frozen.
This is a good beer.
Nice. That's awesome. So yeah, we went back and just took a little bit of a rest, geared up, and then we went back. And we're talking. Okay, it's 3 in the afternoon, right?
Oh man.
So we head back in for the keynote for the weekend, and that was Doug Frost, wine writer, and man, he killed that speech. I mean, he did a great job. He brought in a lot of not I wouldn't say political things that he brought in there, but he brought in some, topical conversations that are going on in the United States and how they affect wine. And it was just a really good keynote that he gave. I mean, people were belly laughing in the crowd.
Really funny dude. He just made you kind of pumped to like be a wine media person. I don't know if I'll call myself a blogger, but I'm in the wine media. You know what I mean? I will say real quick, because I know we're trying to speed things up. On the way to the Doug Frost thing, we were going to go to another seminar, but then
yes.
Thea Dwelly walks by and goes, "Hey, it's the Jeffs." We go, "Yeah," and she goes, "Do you like Troon Vineyard?" And I go, I love True Vineyard. I love Craig Camp. And she gives us this weird look, and then she just keeps walking. And we're like, what was that about? And she goes, "What are you guys doing? Come here. We're going to Craig Camp's room. We're going to drink some Troon Vineyard." So it's kind of awesome. We did like a little private Troon tasting in the luxury suite of Craig Camp before that tasting. And that was awesome. And Craig is... He's got the Midas touch when it comes to wineries. Like, if he's in there working with them, they're making a great product, and he's somebody that just really from the get-go, he's a blogger himself, and I think he understands the power of the written and the spoken word and how important that is to the industry, because it's really an industry of stories. And man, the story of Troon Vineyards and that orange Riesling.
Oh man, that was good.
Come on, dude.
That was really good. Craig Camp, nice work there. Okay,
thank you, Craig Camp.
And then came the highlight of the night, the live white and rosé wine blogging. So if any of you followed this on what were you on Instagram that night? I think it was Instagram that we're doing it. Was that the night that Sloan jumped in there with us?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So the best part of this, I mean, there was some great wine. This stuff goes by so fast that you don't get a real chance to get down into it. But we're looking at the list, and there's one section that says marijuana wine. Okay. And Valerie Caruso is at the table with us. And Nancy Feast is at the table with us, and Jeff Solomon and I are there, and the wine producer is starting to walk around, and Val is like, "Marijuana wine? There's no way I'm touching that." Plunk, plunk, plunk. 4 bottles of marijuana wine dropped down on her table. and the dude with the cowboy hat and the handlebar mustache sits down. And I mean, these guys, I got to say, these guys were cool as hell, but they were serving marijuana wine.
Yeah. So, marijuana, recreationally is now legal in these, I was going to say in these United States, but no, in California it is. But they're still trying to figure out, how to do this the right way. So the thing is, like, legally in California, you can make marijuana wine, but it is illegal to sell a product that has a psychoactive level of THC in it with the same amount of a mind-altering amount of alcohol in it. So what they do is they take de-alcoholized Sauvignon Blanc, John Ruyak, and they dry hop it with weed. And you know, it smells like a double IPA.
It smells like Teen Spirit.
It does, yeah.
No, it smells like a double IPA.
It smells like weed.
Eccles and I, we both had our plastic cups that we brought over from Craig Camp's room, which is another reason why we love you, Craig Camp, because we didn't want it to taint like our regular glasses that we had. So they poured it into the plastic cup. I let it touch my lips, and it tasted like it did not taste good. It tasted like if you've ever had de-alcoholized wine, like it's just not good. It's like sweet grape juice with less sugar.
Yeah, it was super tart. It was like super tart, and then the finish was like very herby, if you will.
And so, and the idea with it, and like the thing is, like the guys were totally cool and like talking about it, and they're like, yeah, man, this is really hard. We're still trying to figure out how to do this. But it was interesting, their whole concept is like, they're not trying to get it so sip and then you're curled up in a ball for an hour, like freaking out. They were saying like the idea is, in a normal glass and a normal serving, there should be enough THC to make you feel kind of loose, and that's kind of like the way that they were pitching it. Kudos to Rebel Coast for dipping their toes in the water, and maybe they're gonna make a tasty product down the road too. But they're on their way.
It was a highlight. So the live chat is a lot of fun, but it's just chaos. So that got done, and then it came time for the dinner excursion. The Jeffs went to one Martin Ray vineyard, so they loaded us up on some buses, and that was a lot of fun. Getting to hang out with Elizabeth from Visit. What is it? Loudon
from Visit Loudon. Hey Elizabeth.
Hey Elizabeth.
She watched our Beer Mile video, so she holds a special place in our heart.
We got to hang out again with Nancy. Nancy Feast, Michelle from Stoller Estates was there. Martin Redmond.
I got to meet Annette Solomon there. Whenever Solomons get together, it gets kind of crazy. So
let's see. Meg with Palette Practice was there. So it was a lot of fun. I was expecting I think I had something in my mind of this really formal dinner, and we just kind of got off the bus, and they had a pizza truck up there, and they had some big fire pits out there that they were cooking on, and they just said, hey guys, here's a bunch of wine. We know you've been working hard, so now just chill out for like 45 minutes and then we'll feed you. So got to do a lot more networking, got to kind of walk through the barrel room. They had a couple really nice rosés. There was a Chardonnay. There was like 3 or 4 Pinots, a couple cabs. They had some Magnums and some cab blends that they were doing. But their barrel room that we got to go into was really nice. And there was even a couple people, the winemaker was there, and I don't know how they talked her into it, but she was pouring some big old barrel samples for a couple of people. We didn't get in on that action because I think Jeff Solomon was yelling
why weren't you doing a blending? Why weren't you doing a blending class for it? Because
we should have just been doing a blending for them.
Redmond and I were too busy yelling across the table about when to start Jimmy Garoppolo.
And they were. That's the truth. So huge. And then they served. They had these wood-fired, super artisanal pizzas, and this mac and cheese that was like, dude, that mac and cheese was so good.
Is there lobster in it?
No, it was like I think it was butternut squash mac and cheese.
Yes.
There were some green beans with Marcona almonds in it, and no joke, the line straight up stopped waiting for the roasted cauliflower that they had.
Yep.
Like
I love
was like,
roasted cauliflower with dates and garlic. That stuff is good.
everybody needed to get down on that. And by the way, while we were tasting wine to begin with, they were walking around with some beautiful pulled pork and horseradish sliders.
Oh, why no? Okay, that's the one reason I should have gone.
Dude,
I loved them, but it was great watching the reactions of people that don't like horseradish. They're like, ugh,
and thought it was like mayo because it was on like as thick as mayo.
That's how horseradish should always be.
That's how they screws up your palate for anything else. True though.
So huge shout out to Martin Ray Vineyards for letting us come out there, and they had ended up picking up some people that couldn't go to some other tastings, so they at the last minute took on a bunch more people. So big shout out to them for opening their doors to us and letting us get into their facility to check things out and just letting us be us. It was a lot of fun. So roll back, the night's over, right?
Wrong.
And
it felt like it. We were like hanging out in the lobby, hung out with Brad Gray from Scotto Cellars. He was pouring us some of that masthead wine, which is a wine that was blended by wine bloggers, and he was saying it got like it's a mainly Sangiovese. It got like a 92 or a 93 in one of the wine publications, like I forget which one, so I don't want to say the wrong name, but that stuff was really good. I feel like Brad Gray stole my idea about how I wanted to start a wine and just call it blog, but whatever, Brad. And no, it was very tasty. And then a bunch of other people that got off the bus from a different dinner excursion to Jordan Winery. They were all hoity-toity because they had caviar and sparkling California white wine. But
oh man, I bet you they didn't tell you, but I bet you they had smoked whale testicles over there.
I don't think so.
I think so. But I will take that pulled pork and a horseradish sandwich over smoked whale testicles any day of the week. How could you even fit in the room if you had smoked whale testicles in there? But yeah, so then gosh, Jeff, we ended up at like a hotel room party later on that night.
Put on by Donnellan, right? It was by Donnellan, right?
By Donnellan.
Hotel room parties are the best. They're the absolute best.
With Jeff Crayley sabering bottles out the window.
Oh my God.
Everybody thought he hit me or my phone.
Well, there is still a debate because we have video from multiple angles of Kralik trying to saber this bottle, and apparently he's like some sort of sabering master. He brings out like an iron, like a clothes iron, and he's sabering this bottle, but like nothing's happening. And all of a sudden he's just standing there and he doesn't do anything, and it just goes boop. And you see Jeff Eccles, and I don't know why you were standing in front of him. I think that's what freaked everybody out. But you just like flew back, and we heard a ka-ching and saw something bounce. We're almost certain a shard of glass bounced off your forehead. You were so high on marijuana wine you didn't even know.
Well, the reason we stopped was because he hit the lip so hard that it shore the lip of the bottle off, but it didn't pop off. So it was just this flat piece, and I was up top holding the light down on the bottle, and so I started going in to be like, look, that's you shaved that right off, and pop, and that's why I jumped back.
We did some blind tasting in that room. The folks at Donnellan wanted to put their wine in with a bunch of other really nice wines and do like.
I'm not surprised. By the time you get to this hotel room party, weren't you pretty much blind as it was?
Yeah, we were already blind. But I have to tell you, man, I have to give myself props. I totally got a variety of grape wrong in this blind tasting, but I was the only person that called Santa Cruz Mountains. And granted, I called Santa Cruz Mountains on every single wine that was there. But one of them ended up being Santa Cruz Mountains. And I go, yeah, Santa Cruz Mountains. And it was like a Cabernet. And I go, yeah, Santa Cruz Mountains. And Kraylin goes, you said Zinfandel, you jackass.
Well, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That's right. So, that ended up that night, and we're only at Friday. So we're going to try to quickly get through Saturday because we're going.
Are we? You're not even going to talk about the clown car on the way home?
Oh, God, how could I forget? Go for it, Jeff.
Yeah, so on the way out, our friend Lori at Dracaena Wines, like she wasn't drinking that. She was just tasting that night. And so she offered to drive us all back to our hotel room. She goes, I just got to let you know, my car's kind of small, but I think y'all can fit. So it was going to be Eccles, myself, Stacy Louise Briscoe, Lori Budd, and Ryan O'Hara, the fermented fruit, and Jeff Kralik was going to be in the car. And on the way down, like, and I don't know if you've ever met Jeff Kralik in person, but like he's pretty big. Like he's a tall dude. He's like tall. He's like Andre the Giant. He's massive. I think that's what his Twitter handle is, massive. And so he's like, I'm not getting in that car. And we're like, but your house is so far away. He's like, fuck that. And he just starts walking. So we get into the clown car, and there's a great picture of all of us crowded into. I don't even know what brand of car that was, but it was straight up Ringling Brothers brand. Like it was awesome. So if you want to see that picture, I think Lori from Dracaena Wines has that at the bottom of a post she put out today. You should check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So that wrapped up Friday night. Saturday, there was some breakout sessions in the morning. There was a really good one we went to about social media. And then the second one we went to was another really good one. But Jeff Kralik was one of the speakers in that, talking about different things in the community. So Jeff, you did a really good job on that, as did Jenna and Rebecca and Leanne, all part of that. That was an awesome one. Then we did lunch on our own before they did some more tastings, and so this was our chance, John Ruyak.
We did it.
Jeff and I looked at each other. And said, "There's only one place we can go. Russian River. Here we come."
And we're about to walk out the door, and we see Val Caruso from Wine 25, and we're like, "Come on, it's brew time!" And we went, and on a Saturday we stood in line for maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, 30, 45 minutes. Yeah,
45 minutes. You get inside of Russian River, it doesn't really seem like it's that crowded, right? It doesn't even seem like it's that busy, but it's like when people get in there, they just don't want to leave. And so, it was a really nice, awesome lunch. I had a beautiful pizza there. I had did we both have their hazy IPA?
Yep.
We both had their Pliny, and then we all had a taster of the Consecration sour dark ale fermented in wine barrels with cherries. It was legitimately really good beer.
Yep.
Really good beer. You know, I have to give it to Russian River, and you know, there aren't many people that are ever going to say bad things about it, but some people might say like, oh, it's not the best beer in the world. Like, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but like, you're not going to get a chance to drink a lot of that stuff unless you're there. And it's really good.
Yeah,
It's really good. It's worth the wait if you're not in a rush. It's worth
absolutely. So yeah, we went to that. Then we missed the wine discovery sessions. We could have tasted some Rias Baixas or some, what I really was looking forward to, some Alsace Pinot Gris. So we could have the second round, so we could get the Pliny. And this is where we become horrible people. So then we get back in the lobby to we got some stuff coming up on some serious stuff coming up that we want to talk about. Who comes walking in? The disruptor himself.
The mayor of Blog City, Jeff Kralick's walking by, and we're all talking to him. And then next thing you know, and we call him the mayor because Kralick knows everybody, right?
Right.
And our friends Alexandra and Christopher O'Gorman from Ramey and Rodney Strong Vineyards, respectively, they're walking by and they're like, come on, we're going to Jackson Street and we're getting champagne. And we're like, okay. So we clown car it in the O'Gorman's minivan back over to Jackson Street. They buy this beautiful champagne. I don't even want to like disrespect the name by not pronouncing it correctly. Blanc, or as Jeff Kralick would say, the good kind of BS was what we just drank. That was some beautiful champagne, and it was really nice to hang with the O'Gormans. They're just awesome folks. And Lori Budd was with us there. Great time. And then yeah, we started walking back so we could catch some more the seminars and go out to dinner.
That was the live red blogging night, or red wine blogging night. So that was a lot of fun. That was sponsored by, or that was, who came around? There was a lot. Who was oh, dang it. What was the one?
Naked Wines was representing, but then also, so there was Naked Wines and then there was Naked Winery in the same tasting, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
It was really odd. So one of them's affiliated with the Naked Cowboy in New York City and the other one's not. So one of them walks around with a bobblehead of the Naked Cowboy.
What was that Pinot, Jeff? Help me out.
You're talking about the Pinot Noir from that wonderful winery that really got
Paradise Ridge.
From Paradise Ridge. Now, John Ruyak, you might remember Paradise Ridge because they were in the story about that one winery that just burned to the ground and like there was bubbling like wine. Yeah. They were there pouring wine and God, like just how beautiful is that? Like they're pouring wine and they're like, look, dude, structures can be rebuilt. We can grow more grapes. We can make more wine. We're not quitting, and we're going to keep this going.
They had lost almost an entire season of wine, if I remember right. The barrels had fallen and broke open, and that was what was boiling down the street. I believe their estate and estate vineyard were unharmed, so they had that. But yeah, they took it pretty hard for the fires. But there they were pouring $72 Pinots in 5-minute bunches for a bunch of people that could do nothing but stare at their phone.
Yeah, and it was, and you know, it's crazy. And you know, if we can kind of divert to like the serious part about it, it's like it's crazy how to a person, like anybody in that area that was affected by a fire in any way, the response was, yeah, but you know, I'm really lucky because I have this and this and this, and I just want to look out for those that don't have what I have right now. Like there's a real like rebuilding community spirit. You know, there's something about a tragedy. And John, I know that you know this more recently with that hurricane that really brings people together. Like it took me back in time to when I was in 5th grade and there was a 7.0 earthquake in the Bay Area that just demolished downtown Santa Cruz, and just how everybody just kind of works together and is looking out for each other, and you know, there's this beautiful story that rises up, you know, from those ashes, and there are still stories to tell, and there are still people that will continue to persevere. They really are, like all that Napa strong, Sonoma strong, California wine strong. Like, yeah, it's a really strong community, and God bless them. They're awesome.
Yep. And as you heard, I mean, we had a blast. We were out venturing. We went to multiple wineries. Other people went to multiple wineries. You know, you've heard the horror stories, and, you know, people lost everything, but Santa Rosa, Sonoma, they're all still open for business and waiting for you to come visit and taste wine, because there's a lot of it flowing and ready for you to come in. And don't shy away from the area at all. So, yeah, I think that about wraps up the weekend, doesn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, and then we went back to Jeff Kralick's house again, and then you know.
And Jeff Solomon had to try to savor a bottle of sparkling wine. We got yelled at by the neighbors to keep it down.
Hey,
what?
And just by the way, for anybody that caught that video, I was using an ice cream scooper. So forgive me if I had a little trouble with an ice cream scooper. Even Kralick had trouble with it.
Yeah, he couldn't get it either.
Give me a champagne glass. I'll use that.
Give me a glass. Somebody give me a glass. Awesome. So, John, any other questions on that?
No, I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out where we can all get to.
So you can visit everybody in Walla Walla next year if you're really jonesing for it.
It's in Walla Walla next year?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We can go on an
right.
apple picking excursion after we go to the Wine Blockers Conference.
That's right. Okay. So Jeff, thank you so much, one, for letting me come into your home for a night, and for spending the weekend just WBCing it up with me. And to everybody, I mean, there's so many people that we didn't even talk about that we got to hang out with.
Let me try real quick. People that weren't mentioned that were amazing people. Thaddeus from the Minority Wine Report. Jeff Burrows, Food Wine Click. He's the greatest Jeff. That's what we figured out.
Yes.
Christine Campbell. Brianne Cohen was rocking it on Twitter, and we almost met in person, and then stuff got mixed up. But Brianne, you were killing it all week. Rick Dean, Strong Coffee to Red Wine. You're the best. Scott Eddy, you're the tastemaker extraordinaire, and you love the you. You do. Everybody else hates them. Carl Giovanti, Becca Gomez Farrell, Cassidy Havens, Melanie, the Dallas wine chick, Fred Swan. Fred Swan, we had so much fun listening to you break it down.
Rachel
just
with
about writing.
Rachel with Three Strings Wines.
And that's it. If we didn't mention you, we don't like you very much.
No, that's not. Amber, Napa Food and Wine.
Oh, and Michael Wilson, Purveyor of Happiness.
Yep. So Hannah with My Poor Decisions. I mean, so many awesome people that we met.
I'm exhausted. You guys wiped me out.
For real. Okay. That went a lot longer than I expected, but you know what it is time for? Jeff. Cue John.
Oh my God. Boat, 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 boaty boat. John Ruyak's got a story, and my throat hurts, so it didn't sound as awful as normal. Hello?
John.
John?
All right. Well, we did take up quite a few stories there. So let's move it into what's up. So what do you have your eyes on, or what do you have coming up? John, we are so happy that you're heading home to get a nice long break. Let's do Jeff Solomon. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my God. I lost this week.
Yeah, you did.
I lost this week to the only Sloan, and I was talking trash about him on the very last episode. So only Sloan, I'm just going to give it up to you. Like, my team, I'm not even going to do that thing like, you didn't beat me, I beat myself. No, you creamed me, dude. Like, even if my team had put up a good showing, I still wouldn't even come close. So kudos, man. I hope to see you in the playoffs. I won't, because you're like in 13th place now.
Ouch.
But man, you killed it, Sloan. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
All right,
love
John.
Costa Rican internet. Love
Yeah,
Costa
man.
Rican internet. So
What's your story?
All right, so real quick. So the other day we're working on some stuff in the big brew house, and they're tearing out a wall in behind the old brewery, in between the what we've been doing on for 2 years and the kitchen. And Eric's like, John, come here, quick, come here, quick. I'm like, what is it? What is it? There's a snake in the wall. And I know what it was right away. I grabbed it by the tail. It was a boa constrictor. And, any brewer tells you that they don't have mice in their brewery is just a flat out liar. It's impossible to keep them out. You want to keep them to a minimum, of course. And I thought it was strange. We do have a cat that hangs around the restaurant and the brewery, but I thought it was kind of unusual. I hadn't seen any mice at all for 3 weeks or a month. Well, I got my answer when I pulled that 3.5 foot long boa constrictor out of the wall. That was pretty cool. Cause for much excitement at the brewery.
I bet.
Wow,
Awesome.
Pretty
All right, well,
pretty interesting. Something that size could, live downtown. That's just kind of cool. Anyway.
That is kind of cool. All right. Well, if it's the time that we're talking about football and snakes, it must be last call. Time to clean house and lock the doors. Folks, we're going long, so we're going to be quick. We need you to help us. John, what's one way they can do it?
Well, they can check us out on the Twitters at We Like Drinking 1. That's numeral 1.
And Instagram and Facebook at We Like Drinking. Jeff Solomon, what's another way the listeners can help us out?
Yeah, you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts right now, and I know the new update sucks, but here's one thing that's kind of awesome. Just if you're scrolling down while you're listening and you don't see a place where you can rate us, just click our silly little bird logo again and scroll down on that. Near the bottom, you'll find a place where you can easily give us a 5-star review and give us your opinion as to why we're so amazing. We love to hear your feedback. It helps us help you to make a better We Like Drinking experience. We love you guys.
That's right. And as always, we could always use the help paying for the things that we like to go do. And that would be through our Patreon program, like Jeffrey McKinney, like Heron Z, helping us out with a little bit of the coin on a monthly basis. Lots of cool benefits you can get from that. Dolly, always hearing from Dolly and always loving it. So check us out at welikedrinking.com. patreon.com/pledge to find out more. You know, we like to do our little bit now that's called Wait, Who Subscribed? Where I take a quote from someone fictional or non-fictional, and these guys try to guess what it's from. All right, this week, it's a timely one, I think. A timely one, especially for John Ruyak. So here we go. Enough is enough. I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday plane.
Okay, Samuel L. Jackson wannabe.
You know what was
Snakes
great?
on a plane.
You know what was great? Like, the reason why Samuel L. Jackson was in Snakes on a Plane was because he was in the Smart Sharks movie called Deep Blue Sea. As Eccles and I were driving south through the East Bay on the way home, I was telling him how at St. George Distillery they have the Smart Shark that ate Samuel L. Jackson in their distillery. You got to visit the Bay Area. Like, it's awesome.
Awesome. Moving on, you can also find the show notes for this episode where all the links or stories or mentions we had at welikedrinking.com/podcast. Oh, man. I love it when I start out and I'm like, okay, guys, we really got to work to keep it to an hour. Wah, wah.
We're at an hour and 45.
But it's a time where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around this table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
John?
Excellent. Jeff Solomon.
Yeah. Thank you for drinking the beer here in Costa Rica. I met a lot of you people. Cool.
Jeff Solomon?
I'm still looking for the seam on that bottle we tried to save for Jeff Kralik. I'm still trying to find it.
Yeah, and I will just, everybody at Wine Bloggers Conference, thank you for entertaining us. Everybody in Santa Rosa, thank you for entertaining us. It was an amazing time, and we cannot wait to see you next year in Walla Walla, Washington. And with that, I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast, where you'll never drink alone.
Oh, wow. Long echo on that.
Oh, my. Our viewer that stuck the whole way through, thank you so much. But we got to call it an early night. Well, not early because we've been going forever. So thank you for watching.
Good night, viewer.